A very good morning, students. So, here we are on our lecture number 3, right? And that is our lecture number 4 actually. We are on our lecture number 4, and we are going to start our true bacteria, that is U bacteria after archaebacteria. When we say about the eubacteria, the mostly organisms which belong to eubacteria, they are unicellular mostly, but few definitely they occur as the colonies also. They occur in groups also. So cell wall, if we talk about their cell wall, that is the rigid one, non-cellulosic, and it is made up of peptidoglycan. Please point to be noted down that the cell wall of eubacteria, it is made up of peptidoglycan. So please write it in the on the different side or with the different pen, that cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. As we already discussed the shapes, so based on the shapes, the eubacteria, they can be circular, they can be rod shaped, they can be spiral shaped, they can be vibrio, they can be comma shaped, right? Now let's come to the mode of nutrition. Nutrition wise, they can prepare their own foods, and when we say that any organism which can form its own food, they will be known as autotrophs. So they can prepare their own food also, as well as few of them they dependent on the others also. That is why they are known as heterotrophs. So they can divide it into two categories, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Now in autotrophs, when we say, it means they further are of two types. First, photoautotrophs, and then chemoautotrophs. First, let's talk about the photoautotrophs. They use sunlight as the source of energy, no doubt in that. That is why they are known as photoautotrophs, because they use sunlight. They prepare their food, right? They have pigments. That is why they are able to use solar energy, and these pigments, they which are present in the eubacteria, they are bacteriochlorophyll and bacterioverdin. So two main pigments which are found in photoautotrophs on eubacteria, that is bacteriochlorophyll and bacterioverdin. So they help in photosynthesis in bacteria, right? If we look at the equation, CO2 plus hydrogen sulfide, H2S, in the presence of sunlight, they form glucose, but they do not release oxygen, they release sulfur. So that is why the reaction is an oxygenic. As well as in the plants, you know that they release oxygen, so their photosynthesis is oxygenic photosynthesis. But the reaction which is performed by eukaryotic bacteria, eubacteria, basically not eukaryotic, eubacteria, or which are photoautotrophs, in those bacteria, the reaction is anoxygenic, because they do not release oxygen. That is the difference between plants as well as eubacteria's reaction, that in the photosynthesis oxygen is involved here, and here oxygen is in the eubacteria ऑक्सीजन नहीं रिलीज होती है, यहाँ पे सल्फर रिलीज होती है. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द कीमोऑटोट्रॉफ्स, they are known as chemoautotrophs because they use energy, they obtain energy by using chemicals. Now like example, if I have to mention, nitrifying bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria has a speciality that it can convert the ammonia into nitrites and nitrates, and the energy which it obtains during the conversion of nitrites and nitrates, that energy is used for the food, right? So in this way, that energy basically is used by them. So nitrosomonas, nitrococcus, they are the major examples of chemoautotroph. So we have two types of mode of nutrition here in the autotrophs also, that is the photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Now the next category you bacteria show the mode of nutrition, that is the heterotrophs also. So heterotrophs, they are of three types: saprophytes, they can be symbiotic, right? They can be symbiotic, and then there is the parasitic. Saprophytic means they obtain nutrition from dead and decaying organic matter, or you can say by using the decomposition process they get their nutrition from those matter. Example here is clostridium, which basically helps in decomposition process and obtain their nourishment from them. Next is the symbiotic. Symbiotic is that kind of interaction in which two organisms, they get benefit from each other. Two partners are there, and both partners, they are involved in mutual relationship, they are in provide benefit to each other. Rhizobium, like a rhizobium, in the rhizobium, it is a found in symbiotic association with that leguminous plant. That was what we discussed in the nitrogen cycle also, that rhizobium, it is in a very close relationship किसके साथ, leguminous plants के साथ. And what are they getting from each other? Leguminous plants, they are getting their nitrogen fixed, and what about rhizobium? It is getting the nutrition from the plant. So both are benefit from each other, and this kind of relationship is known as symbiotic. And those bacteria which follow the symbiotic relationship, they fall into a category of heterotroph. The next one is parasitic. These are the bacteria which live in the host, and they obtain their nourishment from host body. The example is many bacteria, they live inside our intestine, and few bacteria, they like tetanus, like the typhoid, then cholera, they are the disease causing bacteria which are found in our body, like the vibrio cholerae, they, that is the one of the bacteria which cause the disease. So basically for them, what is the host? Who is the host? That is the human body is host for them. So these kind of bacteria which live inside the body of other organism, these kind of bacteria, they are known as parasitic, right? So autotrophs, you have to mention photo and chemo. And in heterotrophs, we have three types of bacteria: saprophytes, symbiotic, and parasitic. Now come to their mode of reproduction. When we say reproduction in bacteria, see the major reproduction they do, that is through the binary fission, right? Am I right? The majorly we know that is through the binary fission, and this is the asexual mode of reproduction, and that is known as the vegetative also. The second elementary kind of mode of nutrition is sexual. But first let's concentrate on binary fission. Binary fission, the concept you people know, that one cell divided into two cells. But the major thing here you need to understand here, that the mesosome, this mesosome is attached with the DNA. So it also divides it, when DNA replicates, and there is the formation of two identical daughter cells finally after the cytokinesis. The point to be noted down here, that E. coli divides to form two identical daughter cells. So this whole binary fission, it completes in 20 minutes. only the condition should be favorable. It should be the optimum for the E. coli. 18 मिनट्स में ये अपनी रेप्लिकेशन ख़त्म करता है और 2 मिनट्स जो बचते हैं उसमें साइटोकाइनेसिस फिनिश हो जाती है एंड फाइनली देयर इज़ द 2 daughter cells which are formed. So total time period which E. coli needs for its reproduction through the binary fission method, that is the 20 minutes. It's not 20 times, it is 20 minutes. Okay, next is in the unfavorable condition. In the unfavorable condition, there is the endospore formation. Endospore formation, it only and only follows in the unfavorable condition, right? What happens in unfavorable condition now? Let me show it to you that first, that what is happening here. So as you can see, let me erase it little portion here. Okay, so what happens here is that, as you can see, this is the outer membrane. Okay, now inside this there is a capsule. Inside the membrane there is a capsule, rough capsule, which is formed, and inside the capsule there is the genetic material, that is the DNA, and this is the granular structure, that is your cortex, right? This is the cortex. So during unfavorable condition, what it is doing? It is forming the capsule. So that inside the capsule there is the DNA that is secured. So whenever there is the favorable condition, then this cell burst out, it release all the cells and then start forming the normal mode of reproduction. So capsule is the structure which, or the spores that are formed during the unfavorable conditions, in the adverse condition, and once the adverse condition they go off, the bacteria returns back to the normal. So now we will talk about the sexual reproduction, right? And in sexual reproduction, what happened is, see, sexual reproduction here does not mean any kind of gametes. At that eubacteria, they are forming any kind of gametes. No, sexual reproduction simply here meaning is exchange of genetic material. Means one bacteria say genetic material is transferring into the another bacteria, and this can be explained by 3 methods: transformation, transduction, and conjugation. Different scientists, they describe these 3 methods of sexual reproduction. Jaise Griffith, there was a scientist called Griffith. He explained the process of transformation. He said that in transformation, genetic material means DNA of one bacteria, it can be transformed the genetic material of other bacteria. Means he said, suppose like this is one bacteria, it is having the genetic material DNA with which can cause this DNA has the genes which can cause disease, right? Then this is the bacteria and having genetic material which cannot cause disease. Now Griffith said that this genetic material can goes to this one and change it into diseased one. So this bacteria's genetic material can transform the genetic material of other bacteria, right? This is known as by the name transformation. Transform karna, change karna. मतलब एक genetic material of one bacteria can transform the genetic material, the DNA of other bacteria, right? So that exchange of genetic material is associated with the sexual reproduction. It does not means that they are producing gametes, there is the fusion, there is the zygote. No, 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 not at all. There it is meaning the exchange of genetic material. Transduction was explained by Joshua Lederberg and Norton Zinder. It is Zinder. And they said that there is a transformation of genetic material of one bacteria into other via bacteriophages. Bacteriophages क्या होते हैं? They are the viruses which infect bacteria. It's like a kind of vector thing, right? कि one bacteria से, this is one bacteria, this is another bacteria, इसमें इससे genetic material transform होना है second वाले में through the help of a bacteriophage, right? Through the help of a virus. So that kind of process of exchange of genetic material is known as transduction. जिसमें directly हो रहा है transformation, that is transformation, and when it is through via bacteriophages, that is known as transduction, and it is explained by scientists Lederberg and Zinder. Then comes the conjugation. There is a very specific gene which is called fertility gene. This is called fertility gene or fertility factor, which is this gene. It is present on the plasmid, and due to presence of this gene, any bacteria is positive, and due to absence of this gene, the bacteria is known as negative. So here there is two bacteria which are combined, right, which are going for the reproduction. Now that time this plasmid, because this gene is present on the plasmid, so this plasmid, it will replicate, it will form its copy, right, replicates and form its copy, and that copy is transfer into another bacteria, right? So now other bacteria will also have plasmid. This bacteria was already had plasmid, so now both the bacteria, they will have plasmid or F gene. So after separation, both the bacteria, they will become now positive in the nature, and this process is known as conjugation. Means joining के time पे there is the exchange of, there is the transfer of plasmid to the another bacteria, and plasmid is a molecule which can self-replicate, and it is having this special fertility gene which is F gene. So after conjugation, now if you will ask me, ma'am, number change होगा, because we are saying this is a reproduction. See, मैंने पहले ही बोला है, this reproduction is associated with the exchange of genetic material only. हमने किसी भी पार्ट में नंबर के ज़्यादा होने की बात नहीं की है. So there is not the change in the number. Bacteria will remain 2. They further divide by binary fission. When they get separated, then they will divide by binary fission. So this conjugation process was explained by Lederberg and Tatum, right? Conjugation was Lederberg and Tatum, and binary fission, transduction was by Lederberg and Zinder. Now comes to the cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is known as blue-green algae, and they are photosynthetic autotrophs, means they perform photosynthesis process. Again, they are unicellular. They can also present in groups, or they are the filamentous. There are two important structures they have. gelatinous covering. There is a sheath around the cell. This is called mucilaginous or gelatinous sheath. As well as you can see, if I draw these filaments, then one of the cell wall is very thick. One of the cell is very thick, and this cell is known as thick walled cell and heterocyst. Why we are concentrating on, why specifically we are mentioning them? Because these all the bacteria do not have heterocyst. Nostoc and Anabina, they come in the category which have heterocyst, because these heterocyst, they can fix nitrogen, and it is present only in some of the cyanobacteria. Again, this is having these cells are filamentous structure cyanobacteria have, and one of the cell is very thick wall, and this thick walled cell is known as heterocyst. And speciality of heterocyst is that it can fix nitrogen. How can it fix nitrogen? Because it has enzyme nitrogenase, and we know that nitrogenase works in anaerobic condition, right? So nitrogen fixation takes place in these special cells which are thick walled, and they are known as heterocyst, right? But it is not necessary that every cyanobacteria have heterocyst. No, it is not true. The most important thing which you have to note down, that these are the first organisms known by the scientist who releases oxygen on the earth. They were the first one, because you people know that eubacteria, they utilize the sulfur as the hydrogen donor. They did not release oxygen, but cyanobacteria, they change the reducing atmosphere CO2 into the oxygen oxidizing atmosphere, right? So they are the first one who releases oxygen, and their important cells, they are known as heterocyst, which can fix nitrogen. If we talk about their structure, they have this is the cell structure, right? So this is our membrane, and then they are having colored matrix, colored fluid, which is known as chromoplast, right? And then inside them, inside the main structure, there is the DNA or nucleoid, as well as ribosome 70S, and this is the crystal clear cytoplasm, and this crystal clear cytoplasm is known as endoplasm, right? This is known as endoplasm. Now it has thylakoid, then it has membrane like structure, and these membrane like structure, they are known as thylakoid, which contain pigments which help them in photosynthesis process. So these pigments, they can be chlorophyll A, then they are accessory pigments, carotenoids, phycobilins, xanthophylls. They are present in the thylakoid of the cyanobacteria. There is a one cyanobacteria called spirulina. Spirulina is a unicellular cyanobacteria which is rich in proteins, and it is very helpful or used as a food supplement for human beings, as well as it is given as the energy source for the space travelers also, right? So example, or if I ask you which cyanobacteria, which monera, which is given to the space traveler, then you can mention it is spirulina, and it belong to which category? That is the cyanobacteria. Okay, last one is mycoplasma, smallest. This is known as the smallest living organism, PPLO, pleuropneumonia like organisms. They lack a cell wall. They can survive without oxygen, as well as mostly their function is they cause diseases. They are pathogenic in nature. They cause diseases in plants, as well as in the animals. So here we are finished with our first group, that is the Monera group. With the discussion about we talked about Archaebacteria in detail, Eubacteria, and then we talked about Cyanobacteria, right? And the last one was our Mycoplasma. So these all complete our Monera group. So next I will start with you, that is our next lecture will be on the Protista. Till then, all of you please go through this lecture and complete your notes.